Next up, Vitality Stadium, Bournemouth at home to Manchester United. Ocean, starting with you here, we've seen United at home to Liverpool there at the weekend, 2-2. Great result for them. I do think when they went 2-1 up, they probably should have hung on and won the game, but Liverpool found a way back in. Another dirty penalty that shouldn't have been a penalty for United, for Liverpool. Sorry, Elliot clear dive. We did talk about VAR in the last game with Wolves, but yeah, I feel like over the last two games for United against Chelsea as well, VAR has kind of shafted them.
Yeah, it has. Look, it's I could go on for half an hour about this no more than Johnny, but look, I suppose well, I shouldn't have went in for the tackle, but the dive is there to see. Our mate Elliot in the group chat doesn't agree with that at all, but he was going down before the tackle.
Oh
Now,
yeah, I mean
maybe
you've
it's the
seen
case
replays on Twitter. There was no contact
none
whatsoever.
whatsoever, but apart from the fact that his knees hit the floor and then the legs
Yeah,
collective, and it is what it is, right? But I think United showed a bit of resilience in that game. Um, I have to say that something that wasn't picked up is Kobe Manu made a few mistakes. Kobe Manu made a few mistakes over the last two games that isn't being picked up. And I'm not stating the boy, I love him. He's a future star. I think for the third
absolutely.
against Chelsea, he kind of kicked the ball out to the corner. I think he was trying to look up for Bruno. He could have just held it or hoofed it, and then Chelsea went down and scored. There was a few moments during the game in against Liverpool where he gave it away the ball needlessly, but that goes with the kind of the captains around you, the leaders around you, guiding these young kids,
Yeah,
like shouting at them, telling them what to do. He's an 18-year-old. He still has a lot to learn.
yeah. Do you think the
He
likes of like
took
Casemiro, who's been there, won it all, can be in his ear, guiding him
and
through?
you know what? I thought he couldn't speak English. His English is fucking perfect.
Oh, Casemiro.
Casemiro's English is perfect. It's fucking nuts. For someone who's only joined, came to Manchester, England 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago. So you're right in that. I think he took his goal unbelievable. I
Some
think
goal, yeah, in fairness,
like
some goal.
I was hating the comparisons to Makeda because I thought that's a lot of bollocks. But the way he just very calmly and he just the way his technique to kind of curl the ball
Yeah,
from
the
the
curler in from
outside
that angle,
into
like,
top corner.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Um, and like we also seen another brilliant goal in Bruno Fernandes not long before that with a mistake by Quansah. And I think we all saw the Daily Mail as a headline saying that Quansah performance was reminiscent of a Roy Keane versus Juventus 1998. What a load of fucking shit that even give away the fucking first goal. Like I never heard such shit in my life.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's
The United look have been fortunate and unfortunate. They are letting in too many shots. I understand that a lot of them are a lot of piss takes, they're a lot of deflected shots and straight into Onana's hands. So a lot of it is stat padding, but they need to structure up that midfield. It won't happen for these last seven games. It's going to be chaos.
yeah,
So the only thing with that, I think St. Jim Ratcliffe will see because he was at the last three games. Their midfield structure has to go around Kobe Manu now. They need to find a CDM, and from what I can see, it looks like it's going to be Onana, hopefully, or potentially one more. But if they shore up that midfield with a proper CDM and a ball controlling, ball forward, centre back, right centre back, because Martinez is a ball playing centre back, they just need a ground swaller in there as well. Varane injured for the eighth time this season. Johnny Evans got retired at the end of the season. Harry Maguire probably going to go for about 20 million, 25 million this summer. Willie Cambuala, what a performance.
great player,
He's
yeah.
not ready to start, but he's another one for the
He's not
future.
far off.
You know what I mean? So, look, there's a lot of pros for United. I think this is a good game because Bournemouth are doing well, but they're not pulling up any trees like they were a few months ago.
Yeah,
Um, but Bournemouth, going to the Vitality Stadium is not an easy place to go to. So,
definitely.
United need to pick themselves up.
Johnny, yeah, staying with United really quickly now. Like, obviously, we've talked about United's injuries, 53 injuries throughout the season. Like, it's pretty unprecedented. Is it a case of, United still have, I think, in all honesty, not trying to cause any shit, but I think top four is probably a reach too far for them.
Gone. I think top five is gone. Even four is gone.
So yeah,
Five
you
is gone.
think I think they're what they're
Yeah,
11 behind Villa in fifth.
yeah.
Um, do you think I do think United are better than the Chase Impact and the West Hams, the Wolves, the Chelseas? Do you think United can afford to maybe kind of bleed in these younger players like Kumbala? Probably, I mean, your defenders are dropping like flies, so maybe it is time to give him a good run of games and kind of
Mm.
getting that. Harry Maguire, yes, you can say he's not fantastic, but he is a captain material. He is a leader. He's captained, team many times, stuff like that. Like he get him in beside people like Maguire, kind of really built his experience in the last couple of games and kind of, built from there because, like Oisin was saying, you have Manu there who's going to be a staple for you if you can keep him for the next, 20 years, we'll say. Like you do have a pretty decent young team coming through. I think what you were saying was it 23 young players played this year or 21 youth players or this year, something like that.
It's something like that. And we also have the most minutes, 3,600 minutes in the Premier League for teenagers.
That's the one.
That's the stats, yeah.
That's the one. Close enough.
Also, like with that, with Cambrala, we touched on Maguire. Last season, I kind of was hoping he'd leave. This season, I hope not. This summer, I don't think we can afford.
I think he deserves a lot of credit this season. I think he got a lot.
The mentality showed.
Yeah, mentality showed. He's true professional. I think that will stand to him probably if he does
Agreed.
leave. A lot of teams will be like, yeah, look.
And I think for that reason he'll go.
And still went out and performed.
But I think for that very reason is why he'll go.
Yeah, maybe.
I think with Cambrala's performance Sunday, Maguire had managing through it. There's a lot of times watching that game, we saw Maguire talking to him and stuff like that. And Maguire probably isn't good enough, but maybe he's a good squad player. So you wouldn't know. I'd sooner sell a Lindelof than a Maguire.
Let's not forget this is a Liverpool team.
See what the money is.
This is one of the best teams in Europe, really, Liverpool, right? So, and he did pretty well, like young lad. So,
and as you said, with the younger guys bleeding them in, I think Manu needs a game or two off. A game off, maybe. There's a lot of pressure.
So does Garnacho.
I was annoyed about, and even with Garnacho as well. But Garnacho's slightly further down the line than Manu is. Garnacho has had this season last year that Manu kind of is having this year. Yeah. So Manu, and he's a kid. That was the fear about blooding him in. We know how good he is, but fuck me, man. Like, as I said 2 weeks ago, he's been aged playing in that midfield. That's why he's playing like a 30-year-old, because he's been aged playing in that midfield. Like, Casemiro is not showing any leadership there.
Yeah.
Bruno is a different type of player. Who'd you play beside McTominay? You can't. So I wouldn't mind seeing, like, you can't because Manu won't get dropped, but he probably needs a game off. I don't want to put it as him being dropped. I'm putting it as protecting the young player because he doesn't need to be playing all these games now. You're bleeding him in and pull him back out, Yeah. So he does look. Now, it was a fantastic goal. He has shown fantastic leadership, but it's different. It's at this level. And he's only played how many Premier League games or even senior games, full stop? Has he played 15 senior games this season? I'm not sure. And then you look at, there's other guys who talk. Willie Cabrera obviously was fantastic. So you have Amos as well, maybe a left back. Why not? It also depends on the situation, Harry Amos. So, like, we saw this happen before, and if they're blooded in at the wrong time, it doesn't suit young guys as well. So there's the issue. I'm not sure Bournemouth away is the right game. Maybe we have some home games coming up that maybe you could, because you've nothing really to play for in the league. Respect is pretty much all it is. And building towards hopefully putting a good performance and beating Coventry in the FA Cup. Nothing is guaranteed for United this season. We've seen that from us this year. It's very up and down, and that was a big point. 2 points dropped, I would say, on the Man United side. However, we have seen this before. A big result is what it was. I would have bit your hand off for me 2-2 at the start of the day. Yeah. However, we have never followed up a good result with a good result this season. Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see how Saturday even goes. It's also the spotlight game, the 5 o'clock kickoff or 5:30 kickoff. All eyes on United. We don't do very well. Or this season we haven't done very well in that slot. So it remains to be seen.
All right, Oisin, just on Bournemouth real quick, we've seen them suffer their first loss in 6. It was away to Luton Town. Luton obviously doing very well to win that game. Bournemouth are still in that push, albeit probably a long shot, but in that push for European places. They are, in that bunch of teams from 6th to 13th even, that can technically qualify for Europa Conference League or Europa League if they want. But this Bournemouth at home, are a good team, and this would be a very tricky game for United.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Sensi coming back is a big plus for them. I think he came off the bench against Luton. He's been missing for a few weeks. So structure at their backline will be very well because he's a very good player for them. Got a few goals this season, a few assists as well for a centre back. So having Tavernier on the score sheet the last game was good too because he went out with a run for a long time.
Last season, I had him in fantasy. He was cleaning up.
He was unbelievable.
He did have an injury at the start of the season as well, so he missed a lot of games.
And so was Philip Billing. If you remember, he was cleaning up as well. So look, I think a good few other players are coming back. Justin Cliver, I think, could be missing this game. I think I read that he's injured. Solanke is okay. So look, they have the structure to do well. I think they bet us at the start of the season anyway, didn't they? So
Mhm.
yeah,
They
4
gave
0
us a
wasn't it?
hammer. They gave us a hammer, yeah.
Yeah, so they have a number on us. Um, but this will be a different gravy now. I think it's just hard to talk about Bournemouth because you just don't know what you're going to get with them. When you expect them to lose, they win, and then that last game against Luton is when you expected to win, they lost. I know they're away, but it's
Still,
just
yeah,
this Premier League, man. The Premier League is
great,
just so
great to
fucking
see.
mad, man.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll try predict it. So, Oisin, predictions.
I think it'll be good. I 3-2 United.
Johnny.
2-1 to Tricky Reds.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 United. I think, yeah, United. So no, I just
Just
think the I
If
think
we
the
if we have anything, we'll have a little bit more. I think a little bit more. That's it.